Hey, um, my name is Brian Hegney, instructor of communication here at High Point University, home of the Panthers. The High Point University Panthers. We are in North Carolina. We are not the North Carolina Charlotte Panthers, which we have no relationship with or to. Um, it just so happens that High Point is also the Panthers, and High Point is in High Point, North Carolina. Um, that confused me for a long time because I don't watch sports, and so people kept talking about the Panthers. I'm like, wow, a lot of people are really excited about High Point University, which they are, because High Point University is amazing. But let's get with this video. So what we're going to do today is look at creating widgets, and I'm going to go through probably 4 videos or so of creating widgets for 2 reasons. One for a start screen and one for a heads-up display in your gameplay. Right now, this is just a little playground where I like to experiment and play around with things. And this is where we're going to eventually go to. But for right now, I want to start off with creating a widget and what a widget is. I have created my own folder for widgets. Widgets is what Unreal Engine, what people at Epic Games call our user interface widget. It's the holder for the user interface, and it can have buttons, it can have data, it can have numbers, it can have animations. It can hold a lot of things, which is what you're about to find out. So some people call it, well, no, let's call it a UMG widget. And right, what is UMG? UMG is Unreal's motion graphics. So there's user interface widget, UMG widget. UMG is Unreal Motion Graphics. UI, our user interface is UI. Okay, let's add one. Let's add a new one. I have one already. I'm not going to open that up. I'm going to add another one. So if you click on Add New, User Interface Widget Blueprint. Sorry, I think it used to say UMG. In any case, if you want to know more about it, Google UMG, Unreal Engine 4 widgets. Okay, add new user interface, widget, blueprint. And I'm going to call this Hagney Start underscore 02 because this will be the second one. And I'm going to double click that. And when you open it up, what it looks like is this really nice rectangle. This is our screen, guys. This is our screen right here. Or it simulates our screen. So for this, there's a lot of really interesting tutorials on how to actually use this. All of these borders, buttons, checkbox, whatever. Progress bars are really cool. We're going to do it really simple for right now. We are going to use, we are going to create a button. Okay, there's our button. Now what we're going to do is we are going to drag and drop this into Canvas panel. Canvas is basically how you draw the user interface on the screen. You drop it, and there you saw it come up in the top left. Now, really quick and dirty, I'm going to left click and drag this. Now the button can be any size we want. And if we left click and drag it, there we go. We can make it that big if we want to. And just like the simplest thing you could do is just have a static button just sitting out, hanging out in your screen. I often talked about a student who, yelled at me one day. Should I get into this here? No, I won't. Never mind. I'm not going to tell that story. Regardless, we could actually create a timeline if you look down here and animate that button. I'm not going to right now. Let's just create a button here. Now, if you look over to the right, and I'm looking, if you look down here, you'll notice all of these sort of input things you can add. So we could add an image. We could add text to that button. Now, if we want to add text to the button, if we click text, let's say text, we'll add text to the button. And right now we see that text block right there. And I can select that text block, and I can select it down here where it says content text, and I can say start. But of course I'm going to put it in caps lock. Start, enter. And there we have it, right? You see that? Yay, yay, yay. Of course, you can't read that, so you have to probably make that color of it black. But you actually want to make it something cooler than black. Something like a dark orange, maybe. We'll just do that. I'm not going to spend all my time doing this, or am I? No, I'm not going to. That's probably good. And I'll say okay. Maybe I should make this text a little bit larger. Let's see, I'm going to text that. Yeah. Font. Make that 60. I like round numbers. 60. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so there's our start button. It's a button. Look, if you click on that, it's a button. Like all things in Unreal Engine, guess what? I can select that button. Guess what? If you look down here and you scroll down, you can say on clicked. You could do something. Let's do it. Let's click on clicked. Now, when you click on clicked, it goes to... Ah, yes, my face was blocking it. Oh, well, why do I do this? Because I'm vain, and of course you want to know who's talking to you. In this case, you could recall we had... So, look at... If you look over there... you can see there's graph, and then, you know, just a little bit more over, you see the word designer, right? So if you look further over there, you see the event graph, this thing over here. So the way we work around a UI widget blueprint is there's a designer mode, which is where we set up where the buttons are going to be. And then there's a graph mode, which is basically the event graph. You guys are all familiar with the event graph. Basically, we want to say, hey, when I click this, I want to start the game. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to set this UI widget to a new level, just a blank level. And then we're going to click on that button, and it's going to just play the game. So what we're going to do is drag a node off of on clicked, and we will say open level. Now, the funny thing here is they still don't, I don't know. Now, I love Unreal Engine. You guys know I love UE4. But I don't know why there's not a drop-down chooser to find the level. So what we're going to have to do is actually write it word for word, the level you're going to open. So if you're like me and you have first-person example map, you're going to have to write first, oops, I have caps lock, first person example map, and you hit it. You just say, okay, that's good. You compile it and you save it, and that's going to be your widget. That's what we have, a start button. You could add other buttons. You could add, I just want to see how far I am, 8 minutes. You could add plenty of buttons here. We're going to start with this, and in the next video we are going to create a new level and map it and actually make it work, okay? So, hey, I hope you had a good time. Bye!